part 11 of how to play DreadBall. This is going to be the final part for the basic rules, and we're going to cover a couple of loose ends. First of all, we're going to start with the bouncing ball. When the ball comes into play, it comes in from the left of whoever is about to start their turn, or their rush as it's known in DreadBall. So for instance, let's say the team at this end is about to start their turn, and the ball is about to come back in. It will start from here, then we'll roll the dice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and what you do in this situation is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that's where the ball lands. That is the only time that you randomly determine which way the ball goes. All the other times there are a set of quite simple rules to deal with it. For example, if the ball scatters from here and scatters in this direction into this hex and then still has some movement left, it will come back out again in a V shape like that. Every time it hits a wall, that's how it behaves. For example, if I rolled 6 in this direction, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exactly the same everywhere, so if it was here and it scattered into this hex here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The only places on the board this does not happen are where there are no possibilities for the V shape to be created. For example, if you look in the corners here, you'll see that if it scatters from here into this corner piece, there is no V shape to be made. So in a spot like this, it goes 1, 2, 3, and then bounces right back again. 4, 5, 6, like so. The only spots this applies to are here, 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 and here, which are the other corners, and these two end hexes here. As you can see, these are the only places on the board where there is no possibility for the ball to bounce in that V shape that I talked about. Another thing I should tell you about is coaching dice. Now, both of these teams begin the game with one coaching dice, which they keep off to one side until they want to use it. This can be used to add to any one dice roll during the game. For example, if I'm doing a slam action, and it's 4 dice against 4, let's say, I could choose to add my dice into that to give myself a better chance of winning. Since you only get one of them, until we get to the advanced rules anyway, but for now you will only get one. Since you only have one, you have to think very carefully about how you use it. A really good time to use it, for example, might be if it's right at the end of the game, you're currently losing and you have the possibility of scoring a really difficult shot, then you may want to put the coaching dice in there to make it a little bit easier for yourself. Another possibility would be to use it for tests that would ordinarily be impossible. For instance, if this ball was scattering from this point here for some reason, maybe even during your opponent's turn, and it's scattered to this jack here, normally jacks would have no way of catching that ball, because you need at least one dice to attempt to catch the ball, and since there was no throw attempt, that wouldn't give them any dice to use. So you could say, okay, I'm going to use my coaching dice to try and let him catch that. And let's just say it succeeded, and then he would catch the ball. So you can see how it can come in handy. Now, if this scattered to a striker in a situation where there are no successes from the throw, which we covered in throwing the ball, if you remember that catching the ball, the difficulty of it is dependent on the quality of the throw to you. In a situation like this where there is no throw at all, it's just plainly you against the elements, normally you get no dice, but a striker in this situation would get his bonus dice for being a striker. So if you added a coaching dice to that, that makes it suddenly a really appealing proposition to catch that ball. This can be very handy if it happens in your opponent's turn, because, for example, let's say I doubled here, that would give me a free action inside my opponent's turn, which must be used immediately, so I could then hop on forwards there and take a shot while still in my opponent's turn. So you can see how that can be very, very useful. Well, I think that concludes pretty much everything that I need to cover for the basic rules. There should be an announcement either tomorrow or over the next couple of days in which I'll discuss the specific league rules for the DreadBall League that I'm going to be starting with Google Plus Hangouts. So you'll be able to sign up for that in there. I'll also be running a few practice games first, so if anyone's interested in that, let me know. And I'll be going through some games again on Google Hangouts to make sure people are familiar with the rules and to address any issues anyone has. So, I'll see you later. Ta-ta!